for everything.
Okay, looks like it should be going. Let me check my channel and actually check.
On YouTube. Oh, it is.
Is it going?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, let me check my channel. Let me check my volumes. How's my sound? Is my sound good or is it am I low? I know I was low on my last video.
It is low. It is low.
Okay, let me see what I can do here. Is that any better on it? Or
And it's quite delayed. So give me a second.
still just messing around with my. Oh no, that's worse. Okay, let me just go
You
back into
got it better,
Chrome.
and then it got worse.
Is that better or is that worse?
Also, what's the delay? 'Cause it's really long.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let
Okay,
me
it's better
just.
now though.
Okay, I brought my mic was down like 7 decibels for some reason.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, there's a really long delay.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that
I
or
probably have to
not.
stop and start streaming again.
I don't know if I can. I think that's just how it is.
You can change it in YouTube Studio.
Hello.
Hello. All right,
This lets you go
team
in.
is up,
Mhm.
and it is showing my. It should be showing the right screen, right? It's showing the power rankings. Yep,
Yep.
I can see chat. We're just gonna wait. We are live.
Hello, shooting goats.
Hello, shooting goats. Welcome.
Yo.
Let me actually stream in here too, so you guys can actually Although I guess you guys can also just get on the dock. I don't need
You
this.
can, but you
Y'all,
should.
y'all have dock access.
Mhm.
Desktop reveal. They should just be showing this screen. I haven't changed off it unless it's showing the bottom. I'm too lazy to
It
try and
very
change it.
briefly. Very briefly showed up.
Oh, gotcha. So there are a lot of teams that have changed. If we look here, 11 out of the 16 teams have had swaps since we last talked about teams. I believe, Brady, you're one of the only five who did not. I believe it is you, Hannah, Bushy, Will, and Jack, which I think all of those teams are pretty good and don't really need
Yeah.
need changes.
Yeah, I made my changes right before the video announced. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think we're good to start. We're going to start with one of the simplest changes here. If is everyone on the dock, or are we
Here.
starting out here? We just have Austin, who I believe all Austin changed was Terra's.
That's correct.
Yes, it's just Terras have changed from Gigalith being fighting and flying to Bombardier being rocket flying and Electros being electric and poison. Which, yeah, I mean, I think this is exactly what we discussed pretty much.
Mhm.
Just I think both of these ones are better Terras. I think this makes the team slightly better, but I don't think the team was bad anyway.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, it's pretty positive overall.
I would
yeah,
say
it
absolutely.
is. It's a good change, but it's not a change that really bumps the team up a lot in ratings.
I would say it improves the team. The Terra types do feel pretty good. Uh, I think the team's still like again, it doesn't change like anything. It's just I have like the overall kind of lack of like hazard removal and hazards beyond rocks. Uh,
Yeah, you can click
I like
rocks. To
Electros
be
because
fair, like Excadrill can click spin pretty
yeah,
like easily.
I like Electros's Terra types. I think like Terra Poison Fly with like AV that makes it like a really good like special tank basically because you have one weakness to Psychic, which isn't really a common offensive type.
Yeah.
Uh, my biggest quarrel with these Terra types, I'm not a big Ice type Basculin fan. I won't lie.
And I'm not sure what else you would really do on
Yeah,
it.
he just wants stab. Like more
Yeah,
like it
Like
has a
you're
lot of
just
ice
clicking
coverage.
Terra Water.
that's true. I mean, I guess you could go like, doesn't it get like Head Smash? You could go like Terra Rock Head Smash
Yeah,
adaptability.
we did talk about that, but he just seemed more keen on choosing an ice because he doesn't have an ice type Pokemon.
That's fair.
Okay.
Like if you do need like an offensive ice type for a week, just having that option is really nice.
That's fair. The other thing I was gonna say, I would have preferred Dark on Bombardier over Flying personally. I think you will be running like obviously it hits hard with like those Flying type moves, but like Terra Dark, Knockoff, and Sucker Punch are really really good, and I think those would have been just
Yeah,
better.
but Bushy convinced him to do flying over dark.
Oh well, Bushy
Yeah,
absolutely trolled him then.
I don't
no, I
think
was
flying
saying
over
the
dark is
flying
bad.
Brave
I think
Bird.
you like. I think Terra Rock is like the really nice one, just because it gives you like basically double stab with Rocky Payload, and you get to spit
I mean, you
everything.
get that with Terraing normally anyway. You get double stab.
Well, yeah, but with Rocky Payload, it basically you're already a rock type. So
Yeah. So like from the Terra Dark, like 2 times boost you get that with the same for Occupant. So it'd be exactly.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I can see the dark argument, but I'm also if I remember right, a good amount of teams don't have amazing flying checks, so I sort of dig the Terra flying for that matter.
That's fair. Uh, my other, I will say, just it is all in general a big improvement because having Gigalith be any type besides Rock is honestly worse for it.
yeah.
So I think
So
very good improvement.
you
Like,
basically just changed it to 2 months that actually like Terraing instead of a mon who doesn't
mhm.
like Terra.
You have 3 months at like the Terra instead of 1 month that will want to Terra.
And it's not even a mon you want to bring all the time.
Gus said your mic is muted.
I don't think that's true. I think you're trolling.
Yeah,
Moving
he's trolling you.
on, we have a team that also just made like one small change. It's another change we suggested. Unless we have any other final thoughts about Austin, but I think Austin's team stays relatively similar to where it was, but it is improved.
Yeah, no, I think it's improved. Not major improvements by any means, but it's definitely a bit, or it's like a nice.
Hey, let me hang on. I can try and adjust like where my mic is. That might make it better. It was kind of far away, so maybe that should help a bit. We'll see. So all Bacon did was drop the, hang on, the Paldean Tauros, and picked up a Cobalion and an Eel. And I mean, we basically said like the Tauros is kind of bad for this team, and the Cobalion is not bad for the team. So
Is it just me, or is this team gouging fire and then just a lot of mid Pokemon?
that's kind of what we were discussing. Because if we look at like the points
Yeah,
wise, you have like one big meatball, and then like everyone else is just like you don't got anything little outside of the eel, but it's just a bunch of like middle of the road fellers. I mean, which isn't bad. This team just doesn't have like a real like top three. It's like you got a bunch of like. I think
you
also
have
the
no
thing
big
with this
three.
team is you can kind of bring like any of these Pokemon every week.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's some
Uh,
teams where like they're kind of locked into bringing the same 4 to 5 Pokemon every game. Whereas this team, I feel like you can kind of bring like any combination of Mons plus Gouging Fire.
I will say, the more I look at this team, you know what I would think would be really nice on it? Oh wait, never mind. My prayers are answered. I was going to say a bulky grass type, and then I said Terra Diancie.
Yeah, that's kind of what Terra Diancie does. I really
Yeah.
like grass Terra Diancie. I think
In
defensively it
that
looks
case,
really
let's get
nice.
rid of Brute Bonnet. It's kind of shit.
I mean, so for its cost, there's like not many good bulky dark types,
That's fair.
especially like at that price range.
How much is it? God, yeah.
Like you could
Yeah,
pick up, I
legitimately,
guess you could
there's
get like a
not really
Zoroark,
a good
but
dark type to swap in.
I'll say, honestly, I wouldn't mind like Chestnut actually in this place.
for other darks there is a
But then you lose out on dark.
yeah, I mean there's a
Yeah.
$10 Zoroark there.
Hang on. I mean, I guess it's too late because we did already see the Valley Exchange. But, like, I'm just seeing the Chestnut now. It's like you could get Chestnut
Also,
over
for the
like
people watching, is my
Valley
audio any
on it
better? Or is
being
it
very
still
dark.
being goofy? I did move my mic closer to me, so I'm hoping it's not cutting out as much. But yeah, I mean this is kind of a weird team because I think the Cobalion makes it better, but I also think some of the other teams are now like better than this team. So I think this team
Yeah.
actually might fall in terms of rankings.
Yeah. I still just don't like that this team has 5 ground weaknesses. That is still an issue in my opinion. I know you have added another immunity with the electric, and I think the electric is really solid for 1 point actually. Like unironically,
In this house,
it's
we
like
love
pretty good.
$1 eel.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Uh, but just like again, like I know you have those immunities, but you still have 5 ground Pokemon. I don't like that still.
I think with this
And
team, so
to
if we
be
sort by
fair, at
draft
least
order, I have it
Metagross
like in terms
loves
of like
to.
cost. I think this team might have one of the weakest like top threes cost wise.
I
Like you
100%.
got gouging fire. Then like your third most expensive mon is a
Metagross.
tie between Nidoqueen and Starmie.
You go from 20 to 15 to 13 twice.
Yeah.
So like I think that like
Whereas
there's a
like
lot of teams here that have like 2 or 3 like really strong Pokemon, and this team kind of has like one guy.
Brady, you go 20, 19, 18.
Yeah, or I
Then
think
double flip.
my team is 2019 18 no 2019 17 15 for my top 4.
I mean, even Maggie's was 16, 16, 15.
Yeah, this team does kind of have that drop, which is a little concerning. I think this team is still probably like a B tier because there's a gouging fire, but I think this team probably moves that honestly like probably bottom of B, even though it improved. I think it's just looking at it now compared to all the other teams, there are just kind of concerns. Yeah, Cam, exactly. This is gouging fire the team.
I'm just saying though, if you got Chestnut like over Group Bonnet, so that's 10. That's a 10-point mon. You could then get like, is there a 12-point dark type? That's not. Fuck, never mind. Uh,
There
hmm,
was a Wochian, and that was about it, I think, or a Crawdon. And Crawdon, you kind of want the
there
Terra, and I
was.
think this team has really good Terras.
Cardon actually doesn't necessarily want to Terra because like, it does lose the other adaptability bonus when it Terras.
That's true.
But it's like looking more like defensive dark types, which there's not really a lot of. So I guess
There's
Groupon's
not.
fine.
That's why I
Uh,
like. That's why I kind of like Groupon here because it's fairly defensive. Although this team is already really chunky,
yeah, I'm just
so you
not big
could
on.
honestly like. What about Zoroark?
Yeah,
Like,
do
what
you have
is
a Pokemon to
Oh,
play? You can play like Nidoqueen mind games with it, where it's like psychic type attacks, but
that's true.
that's
That would be
really
funny.
it.
It actually kind of hits a nice speed spot. Gives you another special attacker that isn't Mega Pidgeot, and it's at the same dollar value.
Mm. And hang on, can you just try replacing Cobalion with Zoro or Chestnut as well?
Cobalion, where? Okay.
Just slightly icier week, ice week and rock week, but you lose your water weakness a lot more.
And you end up, um, you still have 4 ground weaknesses, but 4 is better than 5 in this case.
And you have a Pokemon that really likes switching in on ground types now.
Yeah, Chestnut can switch in like really nicely. I mean, I think that's a pretty good like option as well.
Yeah, and you still have some points left over, which means like
How
you
much
could
is
like
Chestnut?
Chestnut's not 10.
10?
So like swapping Cobalion and Brute Bonnet for those two. Or sorry,
Gives
Chestnut's
you
9.
Oh,
So
Chestnut's
you would
9. So
get
you
you
got
get
2 whole
you get 2 more
dollars to
points.
work with, which I guess could then become like another change. But like this is I don't know what this team would do outside of like maybe turn Eel into something else, but I kind of like Eel for being the ground immune.
Yeah. I'm sure you could find something here to
Well,
upgrade.
But you can use them
well, if
basically
you
until
got
the end of this video,
if you got
or for your 3 free ones.
like 2
For
points left,
the like regular 6,
Pterodactyl doesn't hate
it's
switching on
like end
grounds
of
it's
week
heard
5 or
already.
something like that. But yeah, you get the
Uh
3 free ones are basically until the end of tonight. It's gonna be like midnight tonight.
yeah. Yeah, Pterodactyl doesn't hate switching on grounds it's already Terrad. That's a big already Terrad.
That is a big
If
already.
it's already Terrad, that also like you have um two good defensive Terras. You've got like an hour bushy. And like so it's opportunity cost. If you Terra Diancie, I mean I guess Articuno's your other ground switching.
Yeah, but if you switch into a steel, then you are not. If you're Terra
Mhm.
Steel.
Yeah.
there are some levitate mons for $2 if you want to look at like Soul Rock or Lunatone.
That just feels like adding a mod just to like pretend like you don't have a ground weakness.
Yeah. Like it just
Yeah.
and more just
Like at that point, I
it's
would
not
just keep the $2 in case you want to make changes later instead of using an extra
Mhm.
FA to pick up a $2 Soul
Yeah.
Rock that you're never bringing.
In the words of
Stuff.
I think I said this last time when like Frost picked up Toucan, I'm like, you're not fixing the issue, you're making it look like you fixed the issue. You're patching it. 'Cause it's like
Yes.
that ground weakness is not going to be fixed by having Soul Rock because you're not going to be fucking bringing Soul Rock. Don't lie. I have another team I will say that about. Lex already knows it.
Yeah, but I do like the Chestnut and the Zoroark. Like I do like the Zoroark and the Chestnut. Zoroark gives you another special attacker, and Chestnut gives you a actual ground switch in.
Mhm.
Moving on, Brady. You didn't change your team, so I don't think we have much to say.
Yeah.
Outside the fact that I think I'm
It's still at
probably
least gonna be
higher on your
solid.
team now than I was, because I think you have a nasty like top 4.
Yeah.
Top
I just
4, top 5.
thank you. I'm blushing. Um,
Don't do
I
Vaporeon like this.
That's yeah. I'll be a Vaporeon fan. I didn't love it too much when I used it, but I think on this team it's really good.
mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
I just enjoy.
you have threats.
Just watch out for ice
Mhm.
types
Luckily, there's not a lot of ice types. You have to
and
worry
fire
about
types.
basically a
Oh,
Kyurem or a Terra Ice Basculin.
Yeah, there's not that many. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna have fun, put some pressure. I have Mega Aggron as a wall and Vaporeon, and I'm just gonna start clicking buttons. I just want to say, theory crafting with Grafaiai is so fun.
Yeah,
great
Grafai's a
Pokemon.
mon that feels like it can do a lot of things.
They can.
Yes, that's gonna be my favorite mom probably.
Yeah, I do think I'm higher on this team now, just like because these this top is like you just bring this 5 every game, and then whatever your like other guy you want to bring is probably just one of these two, honestly.
Probably it's honestly, you can even like swap out Iron Boulder from game to game. Probably
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
But this
If
team is
that's
really
like the
good.
Vanny.
Iron Boulder facts. Iron Boulder will be coming sometimes.
Iron Boulder will show up to a game. Yeah, I mean nothing else to say outside. I probably would move your team up to A tier instead of top of B, honestly.
Oh,
But it's
thank
not the
you.
Brady tier anymore. Get real, Lex.
You can still be the
Yeah.
bacon tier.
Yeah.
Moving on to Bushy. Now, this might be outdated because Bushy is making team changes
As we speak.
as we speak. But this team is like still solid. Like it's kind of boring. No offense, Bushy, but like it's solid. It's a team that's gonna do stuff.
I think you're underrating some of the Pokemon on here still. I think you really are.
I
But
still think it's an A tier team. It's just not a team that looks like and this is a team that like as soon as I get into team builder against it, I'm going to want to like just cry myself to sleep and not play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like I can get that, but at the same time, it's like it just looks like guys. But there's a King Gambit, there's a Noivern that's going to be clicking Boom Burst, there's a Darm, there's a like there's a lot you have to worry about on this team. Like I still think this team is really good.
I wish this team had webs, honestly. If I saw Mega Gardevoir under webs, that'd be so terrifying.
Yeah, but I think the only web setter is I think the only one left is Spite Ops.
Let's check it.
Masquerade's still available?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that
Masquerade
is
for
too.
5.
But yeah, I
No,
mean this.
Knuckle Stack is very terrifying. Like with Terra, it actually makes Knuckle Stack completely different with that.
Yeah, Knuckle Stack's a threat. It's like you have a bunch of mons that'll make the game really quick, and then you have a Knuckle Stack.
Who is it that got 6-0 by Nagasaki in IPL?
Uh,
It's a Dim versus Theb game.
it was Dim versus Deb.
Uh,
It was not a 6-0, but I
it was a,
believe the Knuckle
it
Stack
was not a
did get
6-0.
6 kills.
Yes, it literally just clicked Sulkier and then it had Iron Defense.
Yeah, I
When
believe
the
it was
Terra,
Recover, Iron Defense, Body Press, Salt Cure with Terra
yeah.
Fairy, and it got 6 kills.
Mm-hmm. The thing is actually terrifying with Terra because you're so bulky with UV light.
Yeah, and obviously Recover, and like you can just chip down stuff or just blow them up. Like this team hasn't changed yet. I'm curious to see what changes Bushy will make. 'Cause I feel like it's hard to make this team better.
Kind of agree. Yeah, it's hard to make it
You got hazards. You got like
better.
actual spinners. It's a team that will be doing stuff and winning games.
Yeah, I think the Farragraph's like the only interesting mon on this team.
Yeah, I
By
can like.
interesting, what do you mean? Like you don't know what it's supposed to be doing, or
Like there's already a psychic type, and
hmm.
I feel like it's just not. It's basically a second psychic type. You're gonna bring both Mega Gardevoir and Farragraph most weeks.
I feel like you'd just rather be bringing like Mega Gardevoir unless you're fighting like very specifically a team with a really scary grass type or priority.
A goat, yeah, or a ghost maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Although I mean you do have Knuckle Stack to eat ghost hits really well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean yeah, this team's still like really good. This is still like a very, very solid like mid top A tier team, I think. Moving
Mm-hmm.
on, we have Cam. Cam has made some changes. Cam has dropped Mega Sable Eye for hang on, I've got it here. Tatsugiri, Emolga, and Simisage. Yeah, I was gonna say, Cam, this is like the third Hyper Voice nuke on this team. Because there's also a Mega Gardevoir with Pixelate Hyper Voice.
The Hyper Voice.
That is a lot of Hyper Voice. So I mean, I do think this team is improved. I don't think this team was D tier to begin with, but I do think this team is up into C tier.
I'll let you guys all go first before I speak.
I'm just gonna say.
So the
There you go.
go ahead, Brady. You go first.
I will say fixing the speed tiers with Simisage and Emolga is funny, like really funny.
Look, I'm a
Um,
Simisage, I was trying to sell
I
you
don't
on
think it's like
Simis here.
bad, but like, I just don't see you bringing Terrakion and Emolga Simisage. Probably Terrakion in most games, but the others, those two in like particular, are maybe like a one-off thing, or if they do come, they're just not gonna do much. I do think Blaziken, like I was in a conversation with Ethan, Blaziken for 17 points with speed boost is very terrifying.
Yeah, I
It
think
can
Blaziken
SD,
just kind
right?
of wins games by itself, which is why I don't think this is a D tier team because you can just click
Yeah,
the Blaziken button and win.
yes. I agree with that.
Uh,
You also have a Milotic that just
so
doesn't care about anything, so you can just slow down every single game ever.
the one thing that I still take issue with this team, partially is like I really just personally don't like Terrakion on this team. I think if you were to find something better to fit that speed tier and be an offensive threat, I think it would be a lot nicer of a team.
So something
Overall,
we've
though, I think like that's my. Oh, go ahead.
I've been talking with Cam, and I know Cam's been looking at Espathra at that same price point.
I would like that
It
because
is only
like
105, but it's another speed boost mod, and it's also just
hmm,
like really
like if you
funny.
just go hard with like double speed boosts as your offensive threat, I think that's a lot stronger. You can set them up easily because from experience, the Emolga is a very solid pivot and like yeah,
This team has a lot of ways
you
to
can
win.
get into them effectively with this team.
Yeah, this team's really good at getting into your threads. I think you just need like one other threat besides Blaziken to take advantage of that. And I think Espathra would be that Pokemon.
Okay, my turn to speak. Uh None of this team's issues have changed. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of its issues are fixed, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it's better because I think
Jeez.
Mega Sableye was a non-fit for this team, like straight up. And now
That's
you have some
true,
Pokemon that actually
but
do at least something for this team.
like we still have 5 Pokemon weak to ground. We still haven't broken 108 speed. We're not even at 110 speed. We're at 108. I know we have a speed boost Pokemon, but we're at 108 max speed. Like,
That I mean, I don't think you
it
have
doesn't
to.
matter if you have a Molga and Simisage. It doesn't matter. You still only get up to 108. And I think that's the issue with this team, in my opinion.
So I
You
don't
need
like.
something
I
with
know
like
we
that
talk about speed
115,
tiers.
120 speed.
I have done very well in a league where my max speed was 109. I had a team where my
Well,
fastest Pokemon was
well,
Walking
son.
Quake, and I went like 8-3 in that league.
Well,
You
that
had Ninetales.
sucks.
Ninetales is 110, but
I don't think I was Ninetales faster.
Regular Ninetales only hits 100.
oh
Yeah, I was gonna say
Alolan,
I think
like
Alolan is that, but I think like regular Ninetales is. I did have
you
Sun,
still
but
have
granted, I also
Sun
didn't
slash
bring Sun
Booster,
very often.
but you have
yeah.
Booster energy as well.
You
Or
had 3 dogs in that league.
I did have.
you
I
have
know
Well,
you have
3
Mega
dogs.
Pino.
This team has no dogs. You have like
okay, Tatsukiri
5
is a
good
dog.
Pokemon of this 11. Like 5 of
It's
them are
fucking a
good.
fish.
You have
It's a
no fairy
fish.
outside of Terra types, and again, still have 5 ground weak Pokemon. Doesn't matter if you had a Molga or Simisage, you still got that problem, and it's not fixed, in my opinion. That's still such a
And
glaring
but that
issue.
would be fixed, I think, with the Terrakion change that Cam is looking at, because it would be for something that is not weak to ground. Because it'd be getting
Would
rid
help.
of
Yes.
the rock type, it'd be getting rid of the
Okay.
second fighting type, you'd be getting probably a special psychic type, like I said with the Spathra there. Would be just a really nice like fix up there at the top. Like I said, I think Bisharp
Greatest.
like is the most common Terra Captain on this team. I think it is going to Terra Fairy a lot.
In that regard, I kind of would have liked the Terra, like a Terra Flying then maybe over Dark, just so you have like another reliable Terra.
That's fair, but also Terra Dark does let it just click really strong sucker punches,
That's true. Until it
which I
gets
think is another
lost.
way this team can just win games. Is just by like getting an SD up and then just clicking S like sucker punch.
Which I will say, that's my other issue. I love clicking Will-O-Wisp into this team. Like Terrakion, Bisharp, Low Kicks, Aegislash.
Oh, that's actually like that is a really good point because
This team is so
there's no
physically
aromatera,
offensive.
and
It's like Nidoking,
Espathra would
Melodic,
fix that.
and some Aegislash sets.
But yeah, there's no like aromatherapy or heal bell, which I think would be nice.
Oh, speaking of that point Julia just made, I think this team does, because of how physical it is in the current state, I think it kind of restricts what you can do with Aegislash. Because in theory, I think that means you're kind of like shoehorned into making it mostly special if you want to have a special attacker with this current
Yeah,
setup.
because it's like your like defaultos. What are your default like? Blaziken can run special sets, but I don't think they're as good as physical.
I
Just
mean,
because
Tatsu really likes clicking the Draco Meteor button.
it does, except that there's
Mhm.
fairy types that exist.
That's fair.
And Tatsugiri has a negative.
Nidoking does have sheer force.
Yeah,
Yes,
there is
Nido
sheer
King.
force
That's
to
why
Nido
I brought
King.
up Nido King as like one of the team's like few special options.
Simisage is mixed. Simisage is mixed
Simisage
as
is
hell.
mixed, but
Simisage gets
Simisage is it's still Simisage. Like,
this
let's
mon
be
is
real for a
goaded.
second.
I am the world's greatest Simisage defender
You are
now.
delusional.
This mon looks
Like,
awesome. I am so excited to see Simisage like do stuff. This mon looks so
that's
funny.
a Nido King especially.
Okay,
They
okay, Lex. What is Simi Sage gonna be doing? I want to
It,
hear it.
okay, so I mean, it gets both Nasty Plot and Home Claws, which is actually like a real move for it because it gets Gunk Shot. I think Terra Poison, Home Claws, Gunk Shot could be like a serious thing. You can use Gluttony to activate like a Lychee Berry or a Salac Berry at 50% HP. And like with 100, like it does have 101 speed, but if you get to like +1 on your speed and then like either +1 physically or +2 specially, like it can do damage. Going off of Gluttony, like it does get Belch as well, which off of Terra Poison +2 is going to be just
But
nicking anything that's not a steel type.
that's true.
Physically, it does get acrobatics as well. Gluttony plus Terraflying acrobatics is another option you can do. I think this mod actually like genuinely looks really solid.
Okay, you're convincing me more, but I don't see this mon being on the field for more than 3 turns.
I won't lie, I don't see it getting off a nasty plot often.
I can see it if it gets it off.
That
It's
might
going
just
to.
that
It's
might
probably
just be
Terra.
because I don't like its defensive stats.
Yeah, it does not have the greatest defenses, which is I will say that is a flaw for it, but I don't know. I'm still a believer. I think this mod can actually do something. Like I said, I think this team can win
Uh,
games. I think it's got ways to really easily win games, honestly, with Blaziken. I think if you had it in Espathra,
I want
so
to
like
say one more
Terrakion, I
thing I
think
want to say.
Espathra instead of Terrakion would fix like every not okay, it wouldn't fix every problem, but it would fix a lot of problems for this team.
I think the other Pokemon that I think might be an issue here for this team is Nidoking. I don't think Nidoking fits as well in that team.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think Nidoking has a very strong niche of being like both the poison and ground type here.
Yeah, I
'Cause
Actually,
like the
ooh,
Nido
Hannah brings
King.
up a
I
good.
feel like you kind of you want a ground type here. I feel.
Ooh, Hannah brings up a good question. What happens if Simisage if I have a poison type on my team?
I mean, it does. I don't. Hang on, let me pull. I think it does get ground moves.
It gets like bulldoze.
Okay, yeah, it does not do much into other poison types, but you can also click
Oh, sorry,
the
it gets
acrobatics button.
dig.
Oh, it gets dig. Okay,
That's its only ground move.
okay, yeah, that is a problem for poison types, but I still think
Mm.
there are chances where it can do something. I don't think this team's D tier. I think this team is like C tier.
Oh yeah, no way is it a D. I think it
No, this is not a
easily
D tier
can
team.
can have a claim to like C.
Yeah, I do think Blaziken will do most of the heavy lifting.
I think Blaziken's got a really big job in that because like, if you have to switch out Blaziken like once, that could then be game over.
Yeah, its back's gonna be Killian. I know it doesn't have a big back.
That bird does not have a big back, not a big booty. It's all in the legs.
Okay.
Cam, I'm out here being I am your number one defender for this team. I think this team can do something. But I would like to see a Spathra here.
I mean, it is speed boost. It's like it's 105 with speed boost, but like again, it's still. I think there's still just a speed issue on this team, regardless.
Yeah.
Because like, even with like just so because if you run like protect to get that speed boost, it's like depending on like what's on the field, your Spathra might just still be like useless. Because it's like okay, we've got the speed boost. Oh, you're supposed to still click like Ivy Crunch Lunch Meat or knockoff. Oh.
I mean, a lot of times my Espathra lived a knockoff and then it activated my weakness policy. Because like if you're running like weakness policy, you like actually invest in your bulk instead of your like special attack, and then you just let the weakness policy do that. But it's not a set that works for every game.
I do agree with Hannah. I think Emolga is actually a nice pickup for this team.
Yeah,
Because it's
I do like that because it gives you a lot of things you can do.
Emolga's. I think I sold Maggie on it back in Lads. It's actually got like a decent utility moveset. Nuzzle, knockoff. I think it's got taunt, volt switch, tailwind if you want to be cheeky. Oh, and
Just
encore.
Dugtrio
having
is also
Nuzzle.
14 points, but I think that
It
doesn't
also
help the
gets
issue
a
of your team being
U-turn,
too
so like yeah.
physical.
I agree exactly with what you said about Dugtrio. Um,
If you want, there is an iron bundle on the board now.
Then you have 3 water
Um,
types.
Look, if there's any type to have 3 of,
Steel or fairy.
okay,
Mm,
yeah, that's fair.
I think water would be next after those two.
I mean, water's the top 4 type. It's like fairy, steel, dragon, and then water, in my opinion.
But do we have any
so
other
just throwing this
things to
out
say
that
on Cam's team, or are we feeling pretty good now?
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Maggie?
I think we're go. I I was just looking at Tornadus, but then I noticed that like technically that's a third flying type.
That would be. Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on to Gus's team. Gus technically has one change, which is just adding Terra types. Because
Good
when we first got
changes.
Gus did not have Terras declared. Now he does with Wochian and Flareon, and I think these are kind of about the best types you could do for these mons.
I agree. I think I'm just gonna go straight out the bat. These are good Terra types. I think you gotta be careful when you Terra though with this team. I'm looking at the type chart real quick. You've got one ground resist, one ground immunity. You Terra Wochian, you've lost that ground resist. That could be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, that's really it. But yeah, so like you better hope you got Swell if you're bringing Planet Terra Wochian.
The one thing that I have been told by people on this team is I Terrasquella would be really nice for damage, but this team also just has so much damage already.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brady, you can attest that like you don't need Terra for Swallow to do damage.
I usually have to bring in like because I don't have a Terra right now that I'm using. I usually have to bring in Modest to do a lot more extra damage than I thought. It's still going to be doing damage, don't get me wrong. But the problem I have with this team is that its threats, I feel like in Kirim and Annihilate, you need to have a setup to like put a ton of pressure in. And then it will be kind of wraps all the time.
I feel like if you're asking for 2 Pokemon that are really good at actually like being able to get their setup up, it's these 2 Pokemon. I feel like there's not a lot that one shots Ape, especially if you build it bulky, and then like it just starts clicking Drain Punch and Rage Fist into your team.
Nice thing
Yes.
about Ape is like one of the best ways to sometimes deal with like a sweeper is to status it. One issue, there is sets of Ape where it just clicks the rest button. It's holding a.
I was gonna say I was
and,
literally just
Strawberry.
telling Gus like you might want to bring Chesto Rest a lot because people are gonna be clicking Toxic into your Ape so often.
Yeah, or Burn, like any status on this thing. I feel like even like Para is not bad.
Like I feel like the issue with Ape could become 4-move slot syndrome. But you still have a Kyurem as well. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think Mega Blastoise kind of going underrated. Revivroom as well on this
Everyone
team.
can
Like
click Shift Gear a lot. If you
can.
really want another setup sweeper.
It is fucked up that Revivroom does not get U-turn though.
That'd be illegal.
Like it's illegal to make a U-turn in Paldea.
You also have like actual spinners.
Yeah.
You
And
got
like
Hazard,
offensive Mega Blastoise with a rapid spin sounds fucking terrifying.
like Revivroom can click the Toxic Spikes button pretty easily. Screamtail can really easily click Stealth Rocks. Also, I think
You're
with
not
this
bringing Stealth
team,
Rocks on Ape.
yeah, with this team, like you have your offense, but I think you also have like pretty good disruption and comeback with Karamochi and Screamtail.
Hmm, I'd
Even the
agree.
Rever Room like parting shot and stuff to kind of reset momentum.
Yeah.
This is a team like if you fall behind, I don't think it'll be for long.
Parting Shot's one of the best moves in the game.
Yeah. Like you have ways to get momentum back in your favor with this team, and then once you have that momentum, you just start killing things with Kiro Annihilate. So I think this team still stays about where it's at, but I think it's just like pair types are good. Good
I
Terrace.
agree.
This team's
That's
still a
the
threat.
best takeaway. Is just good Terrace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah, you have made no changes, and it is definitely a team that Hannah would draft, and it makes me sad looking at it.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a positive way because this team is very strong. I don't think it's as strong as your team from last season, but you're still going to be winning a lot of games because you have Terra Zygarde, you have or Terra Zygarde 10, you have Diancie Iron Moth, you have Petrarut Mandibuzz, you have a Jirachi, you have a Blastoise that can click Shell Smash. Trapinch is really funny. I like that guy. I've, you just get to click the choice band first impression button and something will die.
Yeah, I was gonna say Trapinch, actually a really solid revenge killer. Like that, there's no joke. Like if you can get in that spot, like something might, because of Arena Trap, it might just be able to get a kill.
I mean, like obviously, if you look at the matchup chart, it looks a little concerning, but also like I don't count Trapinch into any of your weaknesses because it's dying to like any neutral hit anyway. It's got 45, 45, 45, and you're not running Eviolite on it. Diplin probably won't be coming too often, and when it is, it's going to be terroring into an ice resist. Or if it's Terra Steel, it's going to be an ice resist. You do
Yeah, I
have
do think
ground
Diplin.
weaknesses here.
Just don't let Mandibuzz die, and I think this team is going to. That's how wins games. If
Yeah,
Mandibuzz
this
can be
team is
alive to deal with
Mandibuzz and
earthquakes,
friends. Mandibuzz like brings this team together, and it's like you have to bring Mandibuzz every game, but you're doing that anyway.
it's
Like
like
when you
Mandibuzz
draft
is like the
Mandibuzz,
keystone on this team.
yes, it's
You better have Mandibuzz alive and healthy and well. And if you will, it's going to be so much smiles for you, frowns for your enemy. But the second Mandibuzz is in kill range, take a God and pray.
it is similar to my JDL season 2 team, where I also have a team that really likes bringing Mandibuzz every game.
I do want to say, like, you highlight a tiny bit about the Diplin. I think the Diplin with Terra is so good, especially for how cheap it is.
Yeah,
It's
because it's
going
a
to be
really
the
good. If you
most
Terra Fairy, it's like a great knockoff switch in because you just have Sticky Hold Eviolite.
sticky hold. Yeah, this thing is going to be taking any hit. Seems like a Hannah Mon in general. With the patch, with Amanda Buzz. Oh, it's just disgusting.
The only thing that like, and this is a nitpick, is like your speed cap's at 115, but that's a mod of Terra normal E speed. That doesn't really matter.
And D-Dance.
And D dance, yeah, this mon like is going to do things that don't care about speed. And these two mons like just stat wise are pretty similar. Like obviously moveset wise, they are both just good
Yeah.
killing you in
I
different
think
ways.
Moth is like actually the part of this team the least sold on.
Well, she did get sniped, I heard, about Volk. And
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
the
Moth
Volk
is
would have
just
been like
I mean,
really good on this
I
team because it
think
would have. But I mean, I don't hate the moth, but it feels
it's
definitely like a replacement mon. I think is the best way to describe Iron Moth on this team. Is it feels like a replacement. Yeah,
it seems like the only fire type. It's like very
Moth is like
good.
and that's
Moth is
exactly
how
what
many
Hannah just
points,
said. Is that
big
it is the
games.
only fire type left, so it's like you kind of have to grab it. Like it's still gonna do things.
What about Mega Charizard X and Y? Dog needs a good fire type. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
You
like
is
just
a
you're
want to
good
get
obviously
rid
fire
like
of
type.
Mega.
that.
You just want to get rid of Mega Dancing then,
You're not.
Julia.
You're not.
Oh wait, I forgot about Mega
You're not
Dance. I
dumping.
was like, oh wait, there's no
Yeah.
Mega on this team. No, there is. There is.
I don't think the Victini doesn't go well with the Jirachi now. So I saw Victini's now on the board.
There is a Victini on the board now. That's a good point to bring up. That is a good fire
I
type.
think if you grab Victini though, I don't think you run Jirachi. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
It'd be
that's
like
almost
you
what I
drop
think.
like these two for Victini plus another guy. I don't think you have to do that. I think this team is still really, really strong. Like anything we're saying negatively about this team, I think it's like nitpicks. Because this team is
It's a good
going to
team.
win games, and the games are going to be very sad for anyone who has to play against you. Like, yeah, these are your only hazard removals, but these things are gonna run those moves like every game. And also, you have Mega Diancie to bounce back hazards anyway.
I mean, like, yeah, like Mandiba's probably gonna be running like defog, U-turn, and
Defog Roost.
one other move.
Yeah,
Usually, like
not
for me, it was knock
not
off of
pleasant.
foul play, and then U-turn roost defog. Literally just like 248 HP, 252 defense, heavy duty boots, and that's just all you run.
Moving on.
Moving on to one of the other teams that did make changes, and I think that's fair.
This
The
team's
team we
still really
rated,
good.
this is the team we rated as number one. This team probably has like the nasty, like you look at the top three, and the top three doesn't even include the Meowscarada.
I think solid Terra Captains, some actually really nice lower tier mons, some nice utility. No, this team's pretty good.
Yeah, this
This
team is
team is
still just really, really scary
pretty,
and is going to win a lot of
pretty
games because it's
good.
really, really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's really not even much else to say that we didn't already cover in the other video.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is going to
everyone's
be, I
weak to
think, the shortest segment because
ice.
nothing changed on this team, and it's still, I think, the best team in the league.
You know,
Yeah, I'm
slightly weak to ice, but like, or like quite weak to ice, but
It's
like,
Ice Week, but as we've stated, the only ice types are like Kyurem and Baxcalibur and Terrabasculin.
and Articuno.
That is true. There's an
But yeah,
Articuno.
no, yeah, it'll be. I don't think it's an issue for this team. I realize that 4 weaknesses fairy. That I mean, Goodra kind of takes care of that. Also, Goodra is probably gonna be. I feel like Terra Water Goodra will be like the go de facto, and I feel like that's really nice for this team.
Yeah, it gives this team like a really solid defensive mon that can switch in like on a lot of things. Like Terra Water with Sap Sipper makes this
Hmm.
so hard to get rid of. Especially when you
One
also
weakness
technically have a Motor Drive slash Lightning Rod Pokemon on the team as well that you might bring.
and Landorus.
And a Landorus. That's true too. There is just a whole Landorus Therian. Yeah, this team is just
Well,
like this team is really, really good.
I haven't read the rules. I'm just curious. Is Terra Preview on or no?
Uh, I believe I changed it before draft started to being no Terra preview because it's only two types.
Oh,
Let's see.
I think with only
Uh,
two types, you don't need Terra preview as much,
yeah. Only two
and
choices.
that lets some mind games happen. So have fun. Yeah, I mean nothing else to say. Like this team's just really, really good. Julia, you have made some changes. Would you like to walk us through?
yeah. So we've lost Florges, Mega Banette, Dugong, Gyarados 3 for Gardevoir, Houndstone, and Flamigo. Terra Flamigo with Fighting and Steel. Yeah, no, these are good changes in my opinion. Gives me a bit more oomph offensively. Houndstone is such a good boy. Really good like bulky utility mon with like Will-O-Wisp, Plank, Pain Split, Memento. Uh, Fluffy lets it like absorb contact moves like no tomorrow, and is a fun ability. Uh, and Gardevoir just gives a lot more offensive like capability that I think is really nice for the team.
Yeah, your team got significantly more offensive, which I think is what your team was lacking.
And it's still got a lot of fatness. Tinglu, Muck, Registeel, Houndstone, Moltres, they're all pretty fat still.
Yeah, the Gardevoir gives you like a second real special attacker outside of Jolteon, and the Flamigo gives you like a second real physical attacker outside of Ogerpon. And especially like I think Terra Flamigo for $5 is really good.
I agree.
You still have your hazard removal is the same, and those are two mons that really like clicking hazard removal.
No,
I don't think you're running the defog on Florges ever, so
no. Fleur just already struggles to do like with moveslot anyways, so like having uh it's like it's never gonna be clicking defog. That was the issue we saw from the 18 last season. But like Moltres loves slotting it in, and Cyclizar is like one of the best spinners in the format.
yeah. I mean, good team. I do think. I mean, your team is already still top of A tier, and I think it still probably stays around top of A tier. Obviously, you do have an ice weakness, which has been a common thread. But luckily, there's not many ice types, as we keep saying. That's one nice thing the Dugong did is Dugong really likes eating ice hits.
That's true, but again, with how few, like I was evaluating, like with how few ice tips there are, I'm not
It's
that
not really that
concerned.
necessary.
Also, Reggie Steele is right there.
You do have a Registeel, which does like to also eat ice moves. Yeah, I mean, good team. I don't know how much else there's to say. You just added some offense, and that keeps you right around top of A tier. I think it's gonna be a team that's really hard to get rid of, and by the time you do, there's gonna be things that just come in and kill you.
Pretty much.
Moving on to Kevin's team, I would argue and say Kevin's team has had the best glow up.
I agree.
I think this is going to win the award for most improved team, and it's because you went from Metacham to Mega Metacham.
Hey, that's a pretty nice dugong.
It is a nice dugong. This team probably has the best top three in the entire format now.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
This top
All the
three is
mods
just gonna
show
win games by itself, and then that's
solid. I'm not my biggest gripe with this team. I don't like do actually the more like Dugong's nice, but you did already have Cryogonal.
Dugong is basically your water type on this team. It's your only water, which
Yeah,
is a little concerning.
it's a really good budget water, but
It
like
is a good budget water.
the
The other thing
Cryogonal
is
was
you
like all
still
your
basically only
only
have
hazard
Cryogonal for
removal.
hazard removal,
Yeah, that's my concern. It's like
and your only ghost resist is changing your water type into not a water type.
I think this team could make do, but like it still is going to have some issues. Uh, with that, but like offensively, this team is still very good. It's gotten even better. Mega Medicham is a very strong Pokemon. Really hard to deal with unless you've got a Terra Dark Toxicroak with Focus Sash.
And that's not even in this format.
Yeah, no Toxicroak. You're fucked.
But yeah, I mean, this team, I think definitely goes up. Probably, I would say to A tier, but I think it's still probably bottom of A tier just because of the lack of ghost and even dark resist and the hazard control still being exactly cryogonal, which is concerning when you have 4 rock weak Pokemon, one of which cannot run boots.
It was
I
on
am
Oh,
I am sad to
Pokemon.
see the Klotzer go, but also Klotzer was your solo water. I think Dugong is probably better as a solo water.
It is. It
It's
is.
well, like one's gonna be defensive, the other one's offensive.
Yeah, I
And
think if you have to
Dugong
have
has
just one
some.
water, you'd rather have a defensive water.
I agree.
Hmm.
But yeah, very, very scary team changes. I think this team does just go up a tier. I have also made a change. Mine is basically just dropping Aromatisse and Seeking for Whimsicott, and then also making Arbok a Terra Captain now that Seeking's gone.
No, these are good changes. Objectively, Arbok's a really good Terra Captain. You are never going to be bringing Sea King though. Let's be real.
I was going to. I was going to
Oh,
lock
you
in, and
are.
Seeking was going to have a 6 kill game. But no, I mean, obviously I'm ice weak.
Mhm.
I think my -4 ice weakness is the biggest weakness a team has in this draft. But luckily,
You
stay
don't
with
abuse
me.
picks
There's
patching it
3
up.
ice types in the format.
Yeah. I think also like Terra Arbok is going to deal with those physical ice types nicely, in my opinion.
My team is fat. Like
There's just Slowbro as
I have
well.
Slowbro Fairthorn, and I have double Intimidate as well, which is very nice. I do have a Raging Bolt as well, which can eat quite a few hits and also kill things back. Mega Aerodactyl is
I think
really good at killing things.
there's some good solid types like terror types. Some really good offensive options. You've gained another defogger. You've gained another priority defogger on that,
Yes,
which is really
I
nice.
have 2 priority defogs. I now have priority access to clicking the Encore button, or, like, Stun
I
Spore, or
think
Sleep Powder.
losing your heal bell does kind of hurt a little. You also lost your wish passer, but I think it'll be fine.
I think it's fine. I was not excited about Aromatisse, so I'm, like, so happy to keep it,
Yeah.
honestly. I was not, like,
Uh
thrilled about it last season.
you've got a little bit more pivot potential just because Whimsicott has U-turn and Memento. I still think they should give Slowbro a move called Rain Check, which makes it leave the battle and activates Rain.
I mean, it does get Teleport.
But that's not the same as Rain Check.
I can set up Rain for my Raging Bolt to click Weather Ball.
Thunder.
That too. Weather Ball is funnier. But I think my team. I mean, I think my team is good. I don't like.
No, this is definitely a step up in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just a few small changes I think really helped. You got rid of what was it looked cool, but was
essentially a non-mon,
never.
and a mon I wasn't excited for.
Yeah.
For a mon I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Lashana.
From Total Drama.
No, Lashana. That's what we call it. That's what we call Aromatisse.
Yeah, from Total
Lashana.
Drama.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, Brady.
Hey, I'm not the one who made that
Brady.
nickname. I think it was I think it was Nukes.
Oh, Nuke.
I will
What are
say
we
my
trying to
nickname theme is
imply
pretty good for the
here?
season. So I don't even have a theme. My nicknames are really good.
I think it was. I don't know.
I think my nicknames are great.
Moving on to Maggie. Maggie, you've also made some changes to your team.
Yeah. Good changes, in
Yeah,
my
I
opinion. I think
did.
some solid changes. You've cut down you've got the exact same amount of types you had before. Or you've gained a psychic type. And a normal type, actually. Wait. Or a bug type, sorry. Oh no, you've
No,
lost the
I
bug
cut
type.
down on bug.
Yeah. Oh no.
I
Anyways.
gave up bug, took a psychic, and then yeah, picked
You
up a
have one
double
less
dark.
water and you have one less dark. Oh wait,
No, I
you
have
have
one
one
more
more
dark.
dark. I think these are good changes. I guess the exact changes I've been dotting around them. Can I say them? Can I actually let Maggie say them? Maggie's here. What am I fucking saying?
So yeah, I dropped my free sevens and my 5-pointer. Okay, I dropped up Sharpedo, Hariyama, and Golark, and Pinsir to pick up Mew, Mightyena, Pangoro, and Dusclops. Um, so we, I th- um, Lex, you were the one that recommended Mew to me, and I see the potential very much. It's just a mon that literally can come and do anything any week,
It could do
and
anything, and we're in Nat
It
deck,
can
so it
kind.
can do like literally anything.
It's got every
Yeah,
move under
like
the sun. It can be a support mod, it can be a special sweeper, it can be a physical sweeper, it can be both at the same time with bulky weakness policy, dragon dance, stored power, and then physical
yeah,
moves.
it's sort of scary like that.
It's a funny monster your team
Meanwhile,
to have, and it gives you a big thing.
cutting the 7 pointers was like the most awkward part of everything, and just working out what to replace them with. Ultimately, I went with
So
Dusclops because keeping a ghost type felt good. Um, you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, I think you made good choices in trimming the fat. Pangoro kind of Pangoro slash Mediana, they kind of slim Sharpedo and Golurk, or not Golurk, my Hariyama together. And I think they're both solid Pokemon. I like Mediana's Terra Captain. Dusclops is actually a nice little cheap little ghost type. 4 points for a pretty bulky mon. I think the big issue is just knockoff is a lot more prevalent nowadays, which hurts it a little bit.
I mean, there are teams that quite literally have 6 potential knockoff users.
And this is one of them.
Yes. Also,
Sorry, you're down to 5.
I think this team would love an Iron Bundle personally. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it is available, so I
I
thought it
don't
would be
I
funny
don't
to
think
say
this
it.
team would. I think also the Terran types on Mightyena, they're solid. I think you're gonna be bringing the other two more as Terras just
I mean, I
because
think you're gonna be
Kilowattrel is
clicking
really
Terra
solid.
Kilowatt roll like 90%
Yeah.
of the time, I'm gonna be honest.
And then 9% of the
Yeah,
time will be
realistically.
Persian. That other 1% will be Mightyena.
Like, a majority of the time, if my end is coming, it's just coming to be an intimidate and then flop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this team kinda
I
has
Hey, don't
the thing
disrespect
of,
Quick
like
Feet.
What about Moxie? Come on. I do think those are the best Terra types for Mightyena. This
I
poison
agree.
fairy.
Poison and Dark defensively just they work so well together.
yeah, like, this team is like, my only concern with this team is what I said, last time, is that this team can still be, like, overrun by some of these teams with, like, 3 monsters. Because like, I mean, yeah, you have the Mew, but then you
Oh,
immediately drop,
important to
like,
note.
16 pointers. Like, it's still a really solid team, but I think it's still, like a team that could be in trouble fighting some of these other, like, really
Yeah.
scary teams.
I will say, one
Mhm.
thing keep in mind with like it being overrun. Treads with booster is faster than Dios.
There is like I personally want to like talk up Treads and Venusaur as just being able to like sustain through a good amount of things. I feel,
Oh,
but I
yeah,
do very
I
much
have
agree
used both
that
of these Mons, and they are both, like, really solid, but they're still,
Yeah.
like, not the crazy top high tiers that this team is missing outside of the Mew it picked up.
Yeah, I think this team is just
yeah.
so like solid though. It's like I don't think you can go wrong with any of the mons like from week to week. It's not like there's like a thing. There's nothing that's like, oh, why the fuck is this here? It's like no, everything's got its place. Everything's bringing something. I like it.
Yeah, this is a team I could expect, like, every Mon coming by, like, week 4. But it's also a team you're gonna have to do, like, a lot of prep with to make sure you're prepared for every team. I think this team is gonna have to prep more than, like, some of
Mhm.
the other teams will. Moving on, we have the most
Covered
recent
back.
changes. Nate has just made a few changes today, dropping Iron Bundle, Haxorus, Braviary, and Musharna in exchange for Sigalith, Jellicent, Bax Caliber, and is that it? And Claydol. So 4 changes today. Um, and yeah, I mean, I like these changes. Obviously the issue we had with the previous team was your top 2 mons being like super similar in terms of just speed and special attack. So now you have a Bax Caliber, which is a mon that is really scary. And you've switched out
Wow.
your minor fighting weakness for minor ice weakness, which doesn't really matter because there's barely any ice types. And in fact, you have one of them. And also, one of the other big things is you've switched defoggers, and you've also added a pretty solid spinner to this team. I think that is a big plus.
Hey, Lex, remember how we were talking about gouging fire in the boys? Is this
This
Bax
team,
caliber in the boys?
this team is very similar to Bacon's. I think yes. This is Bax Caliber in the boys, which I think is probably
It's
worse
very
than
balanced.
gouging fire in the boys, but it's still like pretty. I would this team's
Um,
probably like
he, I will say Nate has more threats than Bacon, in my opinion. Like, there's a Clodsire, which is the most defensive one. I think Ogerpon has been getting a lot more playtime recently, like base Ogerpon, which I think is good. Uh,
yeah, base Okrapon just being able to like actually have an item is really nice.
it
The
has
Sig
an
can
offensive
be a
Terra.
threat. Terra Arcanine with Eel
I
Speed could be a threat.
Yeah.
I also think this team doesn't fear ground types at all. Like all the offensive threats are covered so well by just like having ground immunities to go into.
Yeah, this team is like one of the few that doesn't have an issue with ground types, and so I definitely think this team is improved for sure. Is it the best team on the in the format? I don't think so. Like if we look draft order wise, you go from backs at like $19 to I think Ogrepon is 16, Flatside is 15, and then you immediately drop like 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So you picked up just a bunch of like guys in like the medium range, which I don't think is like bad, but I think it ends up with a similar issue to like Maggie, your team, where you just got like or Bacon's team. I think this team is very similar to how Bacon's team is. Where it's only got like ways to win games, but it feels like you have like one star and then other mons around it.
Mm.
Your team less so, because your team has like several ways to do things. Honestly, I still think Bacon's team is better than this team, but this team is definitely improved with the backs pickup. I don't know. Do we have anything else we want to say about this team, or just better because it's got a backs caliber on it?
Uh huh.
I don't think there's much else to say. I think though that like the backs is really well supported here, even without having snow.
Yeah,
Because
you have double teleport.
I think you're happy to switch the backs out to like any of these, and like you just said, double teleport means getting into the backs is gonna be incredibly easy.
Technically triple teleport because of Arcanine, but Arcanine's never clicking teleport.
We'll say it's unfortunate there's no die. He can't play with all of his features today, but Glaive Rush by itself is perfectly fine. Same way
Yeah,
with
you can
Ice
just
Skill
click the D
Crash.
dance button. Moving on, we have Parker. Parker's also made some changes.
Oh yeah, I'm the biggest fan of Parker's team. I think you can tell that. His two of his swaps are two of my favorites.
So he has dropped. Let me see. Hang on. Parker dropped Bikini, Hitmonlee, Ninjask, and Stoutland, picking up Ogerpon Corner, Delphox, and Avalog. And yeah, I think these are great changes. I think Ogerpon gives you like a really scary physical threat that I think this team was kind of lacking beforehand.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome. We
Um,
finished talking about Nate's team. We're on to Parker's team.
Oh, so what can we say about Nate's team? Nate's team, good team.
Yeah, improved because it's got a Bax Caliber. Was it
Yeah.
the basics?
Oh,
I think
um,
Delphox is a really
Not
good
ha-
Tera.
I agree. I think it gives a lot of very much needed coverage. Yeah.
not having a Ninjask is already an improvement.
jeez.
You also have like definitely ways to remove hazards. Like I think having two spinners, specifically the Avalug with the Goldengo, because like you don't want to click defog with Goldengo because Goldengo is really good at blocking defog. So having like a really reliable spinner, and also you have a War Turtle, which can might show up, but I feel like most likely you just remove
Uh,
defog.
he's in love with that fucking mon.
Hey, put some respect on young Tort.
Uh, I'm the one who convinced him
Okay,
to start
okay,
liking Young
actually,
Tor. Actually, he was gonna drop it in PDF, and I'm
Actually,
like
though,
this.
like
And I told him to use Shell Smash sets, and he said, "Oh my god, this thing is insane." And then
80
got
80
his brother.
defense with Eviolite. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but like seeing like Avalog back right in the second season, a lot of these mons are physical. Most teams, in my opinion, are more physical, like how last season was too.
Oh, Avalok's gonna fucking eat then.
I enjoyed using Avalog last season. Came to only a couple matches, but the matches it came, it was very impactful. And then Ogerpon Corner right now is probably my favorite mono draft. It is so fun to click an 120 base power rock move. Not much like to eat rock moves. Not many types.
And we've seen in
So
this format a lot of
especially
people
when that
throwing
rock
rock
move
moves.
isn't just gonna miss half the time.
oh, and yes, and plus it is such a freaking amazing lead. It is such a good lead with Sturdy. So you can set up spikes, you can press counter, you can press cudgel, you can use U-turn. It's
I
so
think
good.
pressing spikes on this team in particular is like really good because it gives you an extra hazard, like an extra way to click a hazard with your Goldengo.
I agree.
This is the second slowest team baseline, just above Cam's, but you do have a 112 with speed boost.
Mhm. Hey,
Yeah.
Bacon, if you think Ninjas is so good, draft it.
I do think he has. I do think he's gonna have to run a Scarfer, like Golden Go's, Mabostif, or
Or
Mabasif
Delphox.
loves running Scarf.
But like all
Delphox.
three
Yeah.
of these
Delphox loves running
mods,
Scarf.
all
Yeah.
three of these mods really like running the choice scarf.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of the three has to run it most of the time.
Now, also one of the things I do want to point out is this team does have a ghost weakness, but like half the teams in the league don't have a ghost type.
And a lot of Ghost Types are pretty defensive. No, I think this team's in a really solid place.
I think this team went
It's a lot
from
better.
lacking identity to being like so much better. This is probably the second most improved team behind Kevin's.
I agree. And that's only because Kevin's became like uber good.
Yeah, like
Like,
I
this
think
team is still
this
solid.
team, yeah, this team is solid. It definitely like jumps up quite a few spots, but like there's so many competitive teams where I think it's tough to like really fully rate everyone. But this team is better. Moving on to a team that did make some changes. Actually, just one change. But I also think we were underrating on the first place, which is Sky's
I
team.
made 2 changes.
Oh, yes, too. So Sky has dropped Bezendipity, Hitmonchan, and Lifeheart for Glamora and Cacturn. And I think the Glamora alone does so much for this team.
Maybe not run the
I think
Gilmora.
after our initial rating, they also changed Meloetta Terra type.
Yes, Meloetta Terra changed
Mhm.
from normal to fairy.
I agree. I think that's better. Something just like feels off about this team to me though. Just whenever, like, I think it is better for sure. Something about it gives me like bad vibes. I don't know why.
I don't know. I think you just run this top 6 and you're just really, really happy.
Mhm.
Like, I think this team has. Ooh, okay. We talked about Kevin's being like the best top 3. I think this is also up there for like best top 3 in the league.
Yeah, I think it kind of is like. I think you kind of like need Abigail and Mola though. Like those 4 work really well together. I think you're gonna be running those 4, and then like subbing other pieces out.
Yeah. Also, I don't think this team
Uh,
has like a filler mon, like straight up. Like even like the $1 like Cacturn, I think is a mon that can absolutely come like to a lot of games. Probably not as often as like the other
Cacturn's
things.
low key real.
But I think I think we had this team C tier, and I think that was like incorrect. I think this team is like, I mean, I was like, honestly, like when I did my personal rankings, I had this team top 4. Actually, no, I had this team top 3. I had this team in S tier on my personal rankings.
I do think it's good. But its hitters, this main hitter is Zygarde, right? And Mega Maw. Mega Maw is slow, and like Zygarde's gonna have to do most of the damage. I feel like output wise.
And you do also
Mega
have
Maw's
Caramello
that's the problem. Yes, Terramelloetta is good. It does need time to set up and do its thing. But you need a DD, right, on Zygarde, as it said, or some type of way for webs for Galv to come up. It's a lot of pivoting in and out and hopefully weakening things. And Megamon will probably get 1 or 2 moves off, or hopefully just clean with Sucker Punch most of the time because it is going to be taking damage since it is so slow.
Yeah, but also Zygarde is like pretty good in this format because say it with me, there's 3 total ice types.
Still a lot of water types get Ice Beam.
That's fair. Yes, you will have to watch it.
Yeah, and let's not mention that Zygarde would hate to get hit by Freeze Dry as well, which most water types get as well.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of them get freeze dry.
No, not a lot of waters get freeze dry. They get
it's mostly
affected by
ice
freeze
types that
dry.
get
Oh,
freeze dried
okay.
hit waters. But
Only
I think
3
this team
waters
is
get
really
freeze dried. It's Lapras, Arctivish, and Iron Bundle.
Dugong.
No, Dulong doesn't get it.
Yes, I learned that the
Wanted
hard
to.
way because I would really
Okay.
like it too. But yeah, I mean, I do think this team is really good. Like, I am a big fan of this team. I think this team is A tier at the worst.
I think this has to be A tier. I'm sort of in agreement that I think we were a bit too harsh on it to begin with.
Like, I do genuinely think this is an S tier team now with the Glamora. Like, I think this team is great.
Honestly, I like more. Obviously, more spins a really good move, but because of the conservation, like Glamora is a little bit restricted. Like you're not running League Glamora when it's either Mortal Spin or
Yes,
Defog.
Yeah,
I kind of agree with you.
that is the
Uh,
one like concern I think, and I
Granted,
think
I don't think this
that is
team
what would
wants
keep it
to
out of S
run.
tier theoretically. I think this team could be like top of A tier because of that.
I
I
don't think
still
this
do really
team
like
really
this team.
wants to run League Glamora most of the time, though, because I
you
think it
can't.
gets
You
away more
cannot run League
often with
Glamora on this team.
lead. Yeah, you'd want to run like lead Galvantula.
I guess the issue then becomes like with like webs are really good on this team, but when all you then have is like Mortal Spin and Defog, you don't really you still. I think you're still lacking really good like reliable spinner. Mortal Spin is good, but I would not call it reliable because it gets block checked by an even more common type than Ghost, and that's Steel.
That's fair. I mean, I still think this team is like A. Like, I cannot put this team below A tier.
Like I think there's a very good core in this team. I'm still just a little shaky on the parts around it. Like they feel fine. They don't feel like like incredible. Like it's for lack of a better word. Like
Um,
I don't have faith in this Cacturn. I think this Cacturn's kind of fake. Meloetta is okay. Uh I don't know. I don't know. There's something about this team has like like off vibes to me. I don't know how to explain it.
and I like the vibes on this team, so I think it's just like a personal thing. We'll
Maybe.
see how this team actually proceeds. But moving on, we have one final team, and this is going to be a quick one because this team has no changes and it's still really good.
Yep.
I don't think like any of my opinions have changed on this team.
None of mine have. This is a good team. Still got the same kind of the same issues. It's still got the same strengths.
Like it's still an S tier team. I think it's still the second best team in the league, and like yeah, it's just good. It's just a like really strong, solid team. And if you don't have anything else to say about this team because this team is just so really good, we can start talking about what people actually truly care about with this live stream, which is the schedule reveal.
Ooh.
And I have not told anyone who they're fighting. So we're gonna move over here to this doc, and let me pull up my copy where I have the schedule already posted. And we're gonna be going just game by game for the first week. Once it's done with the first week, I will put them all. But we're gonna go alphabetically by the left column. So this part is going alphabetically. So the first match of week 1. It's gonna be funny because these two are fighting this week. Bacon versus Sky.
You're lucky Baking enough to fight me week 1 again.
Everyone give it up for Bacon versus Sky. They're gonna have to get the run back after whoever wins this first game on Sunday. I think they're going. Next up, Brady. Your first opponent is Parker.
Oh,
Nice.
Moving on,
Luck to
we have Bushy
Parker.
versus
I'm a
Nate.
Oh, Parker.
oh, I know. I've seen this one
yeah. My
happen many
shit is
times.
Maggie.
We have
I'm sorry. I need to support Parker. He's my
Oh,
boy.
Maggie,
Cam
you better
versus
get revenge for
Maggie.
last season.
Huh?
Yeah, let's go
Wait,
campfire.
Um, If you thought Bacon versus Sky was funny, I think this is arguably the funniest battle of the week.
Aww.
It's me versus Gus. Woo! I'm so excited to fight Annihilate. Moving on, we have Hannah versus
Don't use the
Kevin.
red tone. Okay, thank God. No week 1 Hannah. Woo! Wait. I've seen who's left. Uh-oh.
Julia, you get to have revenge against Jack who stole your team.
Okay, let's fucking do this.
Versus Will.
Good luck.
And yep, that means the final battle is Will versus Austin.
After
Jack,
seeing
I'm
them
coming
last
for you.
battle, and Austin won in playoffs, which nobody expected, that I'm excited to see that one.
This will be a good run back. And the other weeks I'm just gonna go through kind of quickly. I'm gonna post them all at once for the other weeks. Week 2.
Yeah, fun.
Okay.
Week 3.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, Maggie, that's
oh
a
God, I have
fun
a.
2 to 3 for you.
Well, at least I get to face Hannah again.
Week 4.
Oh,
Have fun, you
okay.
two.
I don't like my schedule.
Week 5.
Yeah! Free win.
Wow, why you? That's I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of mean.
Listen, we faced a
Wow.
lot of times. I have won a lot of times.
Week 6.
Yeah, I remember. Never mind.
Please, a nice week and
Hi,
that.
Parker.
God damn it!
Oh my God, Maggie. You are just...
I haven't seen Will on there for you.
Week 7. And finally, week 8.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
And on a free win. Love to see it.
So you're calling how many of these people free wins, Julia?
All of them. All 8.
All 8.
Yeah.
Can't you
I
say
cannot wait for you to
somebody?
lose both
I'm
week
gonna
6 and
expose
week
you here,
8.
Julia. I'm gonna expose you here. Is that
Okay.
okay with you? Remember how you
I
say
don't know.
foe is free?
Listen. Listen. Hey, who has Reggie Steele this time, punk?
Hey,
Yeah,
but there,
Julia.
but that was a 6-0.
What's our win and like I know the
That
last
was
time that, like,
RNG!
left.
That was RNG!
Okay, I don't think
Yeah, and I showed today that the RNG is clearly on my side.
So
That
there we
RNG was
go,
on my
everyone.
side,
There
mate.
is the schedule for all 8 weeks, and this will begin tomorrow. The free transactions will still go until the end of tonight, and then it's gonna be it's gonna start tomorrow, and it's gonna end the following Sunday. So it's like a week and an extra day because it's not starting on Monday. It's not Monday to Sunday. This is gonna be Sunday to Sunday for this first week, so you get one extra day. If people truly do want to fight on the first day, which I don't know how many people will. But thank you everyone who tuned in for the live PRs.